Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of the Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys checking today's video out. We're going to be talking about fishing frogs in the fall time of the year, sort of like November and December, when a lot of people really start putting them away. So I've got one technique that I want to explain to you guys about how I catch a lot of fish on the frogs this time of year that might help you guys out. So real quick guys, I just wanted to remind anybody out there, anybody interested in booking an on the water jerkbait lesson with me, we're getting that lined up right now. You can do that by going to my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler, and shoot me a message and I'll give you the information. But we usually start doing most of our jerkbait trips November, December, February, and into March. So if you're interested in that, just shoot me a message on Facebook there. Much appreciated. Okay guys, we've talked about frogs some in the past on the channel here, and on my other channels we talk about them extensively. Frogs are one of the best lures to catch fish on. Man, these things have been catching fish for 70 years. People have been fishing frogs. I remember back when I was a little kid, like in grade school, I remember seeing fishing advertisements for these plastic frogs, like a frog was sitting on top of a lily pad, and those plastic frogs look just like a frog. So they've been around for a long time. But specifically today, I want to talk about one way I like to fish them in the fall time of the year that a lot of people don't fish them like this. And most people associate frogs with fishing them around thick, heavy cover, which they are. That's sort of what they're made for. But guys, at times, these things are really, really good just on open banks where you don't have any cover on it, and especially in the fall time of the year. Now, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about the unique area that you need to look for in the body of water that you're fishing. Then we'll talk a little bit about how to fish it. But the thing that I have found out in the fall time of the year, when that water temperature starts to get down in the 50s and 60s, you can go to the lower end of the lake you're fishing that normally has the clearer water. Most of the time when you're fishing a frog, you're looking for off-colored water. But in the fall time of the year, if you go to the cleanest water in the lake that you have, and you get out there on those days that have low light conditions, like say it's a cloudy, rainy type day, or maybe early in the morning, something like that, you can go to those clear water areas that are normally on the lower end of the lake down by the dam, get out on basically any point, just any rocky bank in a cove, the back end of any cove, and fish these frogs super shallow in like less than 3 foot of water, throw them right to the bank and work them out a couple feet and catch a bunch of good fish in the late fall on those cloudy days. Now, of course, the frog that you need, this is that Megabass Big Gabbit. You need to have a walking frog. You don't want to have one of those concave nose popping frogs. You need to have those frogs that walk like a Xerospook like this. And it's the same type of deal. It's the same type of water that you'd be fishing a Xerospook or a walking topwater in, except you're shallower, throwing it up there right on the bank and just twitching it out into 3 or 4 foot of water, then reeling it in and make another cast. Now, the main reason they bite these things is a frog is a super, super subtle topwater lure. It's like when you talk in terms of a walking topwater like that, a frog is completely silent, and even like a Xerospook, even though if there's no rattles in it, some have rattles, some don't, but even the ones that don't have rattles, it still makes a lot of noise by the hooks clanging against the body. And since a frog doesn't have that, it's got the hooks in the rubber here, this thing is completely silent going through the water. And for whatever reason, I have found in the fall time of the year, when that water temperature starts to drop and you get those cloudy days, that they will hammer a frog in the same type of water that you're getting bit on a walking topwater. Another really good spot to throw these things in is you can skip them like underneath boat docks, up, like the walkway areas, say any boat dock that has a walkway, skip those frogs up under those walkway areas in the fall time of the year, especially a black frog like this. And frogs are real easy to skip. You can skip them on a bait caster or spinning rod pretty easy. A lot of times those fish will be up there in that real shallow water against the bank underneath those walkways too. I've caught some pretty good ones doing that on lakes that have lots of docks. But I just wanted to pass that little tip along to you guys. It's nothing really complicated. It's basically just using the top water that most people don't think about using over in open water and the cleaner water. And it only works this time of year. I've not been able to duplicate it any other time of year except in the fall time when the water's in the 50s and 60s. So anyway, give it a try, guys. I might add up to some few fish for you guys, and just wanted to pass that along. We'll talk later.